Hello, children. It's me, Kavya, your maths teacher. We were discussing with the number system chapter. In the last class, we studied what are irrational numbers. Hope you remember it. A number is called irrational if it cannot be written in the form of p by q, where p and q are integers and q is not equal to 0. This is the definition of an irrational number. We studied the definition for rational number as well. Any number which can be expressed in the form of p by q, where p and q are integers and q not equal to 0, is called the rational number. Whereas a number which cannot be written in the form of p by q, where p and q are integers and q not equal to 0, are irrational numbers. We learnt examples also in the last class, like square root 2, square root 3, square root 15, pi, 0.101101, etc. Yes, so these are irrational numbers. But later, Pythagoras he proved that numbers like square root 2, square root 3, square root 5, square root 6, square root 7, etc. These are also the irrationals. They are also irrationals, and he also proved it. How he proved everything, as I have said here, we'll discuss. You will learn it in class 10th. Now, in the beginning of this lesson, we studied about what are natural numbers, what are whole numbers, and what are rational numbers by collecting the numbers in a bag. Hope you all remember it. Yes. Now, if you for the bag containing rational numbers, after we add all the irrational numbers, what does your bag contain? It contains whole number, natural number, rational number, and irrational numbers as well, which are collectively called real numbers, represented by the letter R. You can see here it is called real number. So here they are given in your textbook. Remember the bag of rational numbers. If we now put all the irrational numbers into the bag, will there be any numbers left on the number line? The answer is no. Why? We have collected all the natural numbers, whole numbers, and rational numbers, and now we have also put the irrational numbers into our bag. So there are no numbers left on the number line. So the answer is no. It turns out that the collection of all irrational numbers, rational numbers and irrational numbers together make up what we call the real collection of real numbers, which is denoted by the letter R. So totally, if we say the number line what we studied in the first class, it consists of the collection of rational numbers as well as irrational numbers, collectively called real numbers, and hence the number line what we draw is called the real number line. Here it is. Therefore, a real number is either a rational or irrational. So, we can say that every real number is represented by a unique point on the number line. Every real number is represented by a unique point on the number line. Also, every point on the number line represents a unique real number. That is the reason why the number line is called the real number line. Hope you are clear, children. It is called, the number line is called not simply the number line but the real number line. Why? Because the number line consists of either rational numbers or irrational numbers, which are again the real numbers. Hence it is named as real number line. Just now we studied that Pythagoras proved that numbers like square root 2, square root 3, etc. are also irrational numbers. When they are irrational numbers, when he proved that those are irrational numbers, then we should be able to plot it on the number line, correct? We should be able to plot it on the number line. The square root 2, square root 3, etc. should be plotted on the number line. since it is a irrational number. How to plot or how to locate square root 2 on the number line. So let us learn that today. To learn that, you should know what is Pythagoras theorem. Hope you have studied it in your lower classes now. So we shall just recall it and start with plotting the number line for the irrational numbers like root 2, root 3, etc. So Pythagoras theorem is proved for the mainly the right angle triangles. It is proved for the right angled triangle. You know what is a right angle triangle? A triangle in which one of the angle is 90 degree. That is 90 degree is called right angle, and hence this triangle is called the right angle triangle. A, B, C is the right angle triangle. This side AB is A units, this base BC is B units, and side AC is C units. Small letter A, B, C represents the three sides of the right angle triangle ABC. Now you know that the side opposite to the right angle, that is 90 degree, in a right angle triangle the side opposite to 90 degree is called the hypotenuse of the triangle. This is called hypotenuse of the triangle. You all know that. So AC is the hypotenuse. AC is the hypotenuse of the triangle and BC is the base of the triangle. Now what Pythagoras said is the square of the hypotenuse is equal to the sum of the square of other two sides. So now we know AC is the hypotenuse and it is the longest side of the right angle triangle. So hypotenuse square means, what is hypotenuse here? AC is hypotenuse. So what we write here is AC square is equal to square of the hypotenuse is equal to sum of the squares of other two sides. Which are the other two sides? AB and BC are the remaining two sides. Their squares we should take. So means AC square. First side let us take it as AB square, and remaining square other side is BC square. Their sum means addition. So hypotenuse, square of the hypotenuse means AC square is equal to sum of the squares of other two sides. Sum means addition. Sum of other two sides AB plus BC. But not only sum of other two sides, sum of squares of other two sides. So AB square plus BC square. AC square is AB square plus BC square. Now in this triangle, we have represented this side AC by small letter C. So AC square, now I will write it as C square. Similarly, AB is small letter A. So A square, base BC is small letter B. So BC square. What we got here is C square is equal to A square plus B square. Now apply square root on both sides. So for both LHS and RHS, let us apply the square root like this. I have just only put the square root. C square is there, A square, B square is there. I have put both LHS and RHS under the square root. So say square root C square root of A square plus B square. Here what happens? Square and square roots gets cancelled. So it is just C is equal to square root of A square plus B square. This is the formula or Pythagoras theorem. So don't worry of all this. For now you just keep in mind that square of the hypotenuse AC square is AB square plus BC square. So this is your Pythagoras theorem. Using this theorem, now we need to plot the rational numbers like square root 2, square root 3, square root 5, etc. on the number line, and let us check how to do it. Now, after learning this Pythagoras theorem, children, to represent any irrational number on a number line, we need to construct a right angle triangle on the number line. How to construct? Simply use marking 90 degree and plotting? No, that is wrong. This A, small letter A, B, C, we have represented for the sides of the right angle triangle. No? Let us give some values to that substitute and find out how to plot for square root 2 and how to plot for square root 3. These two examples I will show. If you learn these two, whatever the number given, maybe n square root 5, square root 7, anything you can plot on the number line. It is very easy. So, now if I want to get here in place of square root a square plus b square, if I want to get a number 2, what should be the values of a and b? 1 plus 1 is 2, obviously. Yes, no? So, if in this right angle triangle, the small letter a, if it is equal to 1, small letter b, if we take it to be 1 unit, then what will happen if we apply the Pythagoras theorem? Now we have C is square root of C is equal to square root of a square plus b square, correct? So now in this square root, let us substitute the values of a and b. A square is 1 square, again b square is 1 square. So C will be square root of 1 square is 1 plus again 1 square is 1, that is equal to square root, same 1 plus 1 is 2. See, we got square root 2 by applying the Pythagoras theorem when one's first side, the base and the other side of the triangle are 1 unit each, or if its value is 1, then we get square root 2 as the hypotenuse. So this is how we need to plot the number line. Similarly, now to get root 3, what the values of a and b should be. Now to do that, same square root 2 concept we will consider. Now let us consider this hypotenuse AC of the triangle on the number line concept I am telling you. I will explain by constructing it. Now on this hypotenuse AC, this if we consider this hypotenuse as the base, now its value is square root 2. Correct? So now one of the value is square root 2. We will choose it as. This as the base of the right angle triangle is now root 2. So what happens is, I will draw it to you once again and show. Now this AC, the hypotenuse is chosen as the base, which is equal to root 2 now. Here I need to construct one more new right angle triangle such that I want the hypotenuse to be equal to square root 3. If I have 2 here, obviously if I take this side to be 1 unit, as we did here, 1 is root 2. So already I have root 2. The hypotenuse acts as the base of the second triangle now. So root 2 if I want the hypotenuse to be root 3 now, the other side should be 1. So similarly, compared to these two triangles, now don't get confused. Let us take the same labeling not to confuse. Okay, now same triangle ABC we have now. AB is 1 unit. So small letter A is still 1. But BC base is changed now. This base is nothing but the hypotenuse of this triangle. So what is happening now? B is square root 2. So C is equal to, what we are doing is, see, now this is the triangle. One more right angle triangle we are constructing like this. And label it as D now. This is square root 2. Hypotenuse I want square root 3. If this is square root 2, then this length is 1 if we take. Do we get root 3? Let us verify. C is 1, B is square root 2. We have from Pythagoras theorem, C is square root of A square plus B square. C is square root of A square means 1 square plus, in place of B we have square root 2. So I will write whole square. Square root 2 whole square. If it is confusing, apply the square root individually, like square root 1 square plus square root of root 2 whole square. Here what happens? 1 square is 1 itself plus here we have square root 2 whole square. under square root 2. What happens here is this square and this square root gets cancelled. What you are left with now? Square root as it is, square and square root gets cancelled and you are left with 2. So it is just the 2. Square root 2. So what is C now? 1 square is 1. Square root 1 plus square root 2. Square root of 1 plus 2, which is equal to square root 3, which is the required irrational number on the number line. Like this, upon the triangle of square root 2, we are constructing one more triangle, that is of square root 3. Now we shall see how to plot it.